AI has been the topic du jour here in Davos, and joining us right now is Bret Taylor. He is the co-founder and CEO of Sierra. He's also the chairman of the OpenAI board, and he's one of the co-creators of Google Maps. Got a lot of other titles that we could throw in there for you, too, Bret.
Create the like button.
Yes.
That, to me, is like the thing that you should
Genius.
go down.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Nothing's better than Google Maps. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
We can
in terms of life-changing, you ever live in LA? You're afraid to leave the freeway until you get Google Maps. It's like, oh my God, the world is open.
Yeah, Google Maps plus the iPhone is the best combination since chocolate and peanut butter.
True. I think it even beats chocolate and peanut butter going together. Bret, let's talk a little bit about where things stand with OpenAI. Let's say AI writ large, because that's what we're really trying to get our arms around right now. There's been so much excitement about it, so much thought that it's going to be able to boost productivity in so many different ways. And then on the other hand of things, you have somebody like Satya Nadella who said this week that if it's not given more broad adoption outside of just the big tech companies and maybe even some of the big companies, that it does run the risk of being a bubble. Where do you see all of this at this point? How do you add all that up?
I'm an AI optimist, obviously.
Yeah.
Probably didn't even need to say that. I think we're at the beginning of this curve, though. It's a little bit like 1996 and the rollout of the internet, where I think it's somewhat self-evident it's going to have a huge impact. Just like in 1996, we're sitting here, we'd say it's going to impact commerce and search and payments. But it takes a while both for the infrastructure to be built out. It takes a while for companies to adopt. The regulatory landscape needs to evolve. But it's interesting sort of bringing it back to sort of my day job versus my busy side hustle of being chairman of OpenAI. There are a few, I would say, areas of applied AI where we're seeing a ton of adoption. One is software engineering, where tools like Codex from OpenAI, companies like Cursor are really taking off, and customer service. And this is the area where Sierra is leading. And I think that's really exciting because I think most companies don't necessarily want to buy technology, they want to buy solutions to problems. And so one of the things I hope to see this year is more companies like Sierra and Harvey, which does applied AI for legal, where companies can buy off-the-shelf solutions. You know, you can buy Sierra and replace your IVR system with an AI agent that answers the phone. You don't need to worry about models, right? And I don't think companies should be developing software. Companies should just be applying technology to solve their problems. And we're just early in that applied AI landscape being mature, which is why I think adoption sort of lags the potential. But I'm very optimistic we'll see it this year.
So beyond what you're doing, beyond Harvey, who else is interesting to you in that space?
Well, I think broadly, I like first principles thinking. What is large language models? What do they let you do? Well, first, computers can talk to you now, which is awesome. They can talk over chat, they can talk over voice, and I think we've evolved from punch cards to mice and keyboards to touch screens, and now conversational interfaces. So that will obviously impact the call center and customer service. It'll also impact things like sales. We actually do over 1 million outbound calls every single month with Rocket Mortgage, to give you a sense of the scale of that. I also will think it will impact anywhere where you're dealing in the world of information, analysts, legal profession, contract review. Just think about KYC and banking or onboarding a new vendor. And all of those areas, intellectually aren't hard, but if you have to build it from scratch, all of a sudden you're going through this cost-benefit analysis. And what I think about is, where's the startup doing these boring but important kind of back-office processes so we can actually realize this potential?
In the agentic AI world, what's the switching cost from going from one off-the-shelf player to another? Because that's become a huge question. Harder, by the way, there seems to be more moats in the enterprise space than there is in the consumer space. People seem to jump from ChatGPT to Gemini, back to this, back to that. In your space, I think it's different.
Yeah, it's a very interesting question, because I think, traditionally we've talked about enterprise software as systems of record and then sort of systems of engagement. The atomic unit of an AI agent is actually a process. It might be, say, helping you fix your DirecTV receiver like one of our agents would do, or it might be onboarding a vendor to your supply chain. And that spans departments, it spans systems of record. And so I think, AI agents, I think the reason it's been so disruptive to the software industry is it's kind of shuffling the deck of, where are the anchor tenants for all these, how do you think about the software landscape? And what does that mean for switching costs? And I wonder, is there sort of a system of record for your core company's processes, your customer experience, your back office, how you audit your financials every year? So I don't know the answer to that question, but I think it's evolving before our eyes. AIs, and it's why there's a lot of open questions about the future of software now that AI agents can write them, and it's just a very interesting time to be in the industry.
Do you compete with the likes of the big guys like an Oracle or somebody? Do you work with them? How would I look at that relationship? Because those companies that have been around for a long time and are kind of embedded in a lot of these corporate headquarters and throughout, would you be working on top of them? Would you be knocking them out?
I remember, I think it was Reed Hastings on a Netflix earnings call, and someone asked him about who his competitors were, and I think he said Fortnite or something, or what?
Yeah. I would remember him once saying sleep.
Sleep.
He competes with sleep.
He had a really clever response that I'm screwing up. But it's interesting because I think the world of agents often don't directly compete with any of the, I'll say, incumbent vendors. It's just new. So if you have an AI agent pick up the phone and make a sale, or pick up the phone and solve a customer service problem,
there was nobody who
what
was
are
doing
all the
that
systems
before
that didn't get accessed as a consequence of that? So it's more disruptive than it is competitive, and that's what's so interesting about it. And it's why it's not a foregone conclusion that these incumbents can't benefit from AI, right? You could sort of pivot into the space. But on the other hand, I think you start to say, where is the anchor tenant for your digital strategy? And it's going from many of these incumbent platforms towards AI agents that are more autonomously doing these tasks. And that's why it's so exciting, and it probably is a bubble. When everyone knows that AI is going to have a huge impact on the economy across a huge range of industries and workflows, money is plentiful.
Right.
And what you end up with, smart money, dumb money, you end up with too many competitors at every layer of the stack. But I think that's good. Competition's good. It ends up with this culling effect where the free market determines who has the best products and where the most value is. And I think over the next few years, you'll see correction. You'll also see consolidation. But I don't think you can get innovation without that kind of messy competition. And so it's pretty stressful for people like me in the middle of it, but it's sort of, can these startups become the consolidators, or they be consolidated? And it's the greatness of the free market, and we're seeing it in real time.
That's great.
Can I ask you one stressful question?
Stressful, go ahead.
So Elon Musk is going to be here this afternoon. The trial is actually now, appears like it's going to happen, meaning his case against OpenAI in your role as the chairman. And I'm curious sort of how that changes the dynamic and potentially even changes the timeline for what you think about either going public or how this whole thing shapes itself.
Look, we've been consistent that we believe this is baseless, and we're really focused on building out this foundation, which is now one of the largest foundations in the world, in our new structure, which we're very proud of. And in particular at the board level, thinking about how can this new structure amplify our mission, and whether that's going public eventually, but more importantly, even the short term, saying now that we have this foundation with this incredible equity structure, how can we broaden our view of that mission, go beyond simply building AGI and thinking about healthcare, thinking about jobs, all the other things that it means if we really want AGI to benefit humanity. So it's a really exciting time at OpenAI, honestly.